Yeah, I mean, you've had all the experts say, well, look out for the Delta variant or the Lambda variant. Next is going to be like the Chi Omega variant or the Pi Kappa Psi variant. I got the Florida variant. I got the Freedom variant. It affects the brain. It gets you to think for yourself.
Okay, so that's Matt Gaetz. He's human garbage. He's human garbage in both shoes. That's all that he is and all that he ever will be. He's a grifter, not a particularly intelligent one. But Anna, he's of course saying that in Florida, he's talking about the Florida variant. Florida, of course, was the site of now record high cases and hospitalizations with a disease that can cause long-term symptoms, including to your brain. So when he says he has it on the brain, it seems as if what he was saying was perfectly designed, scripted to make him look like a complete dunce. But he seems to have missed that particular irony.
Yeah, I mean, look, people are dying. We have, tens of thousands of people hospitalized in Florida because they contracted the Delta variant. And it's not funny, it's not funny, it's not cute. What's really shameful is just how far elected members of Congress are willing to go for their own personal grift, even as people are dying from this deadly virus. I'm exhausted by it. I'm so exhausted by it. And thinking for yourself means ignoring the nonsense coming from members of Congress, especially GOP members of Congress, like Matt Gaetz, who are currently facing an FBI investigation for allegedly paying to traffic a minor across state lines for the purposes of sex. So that's a federal crime. That's what the DOJ is investigating him for. He's not a credible person, and he certainly isn't a medical professional or expert. He is, in my opinion, intentionally lying to the American people about the reality of this virus, and people are gonna die as a result. He's an awful, awful person, period.
You're 100% right. He's been doing this from the very beginning. Remember, he wore the gas mask on the House floor. So it was a joke to him then. Something like, I think, I'm gonna guess 40,000 dead Floridians, like a sports stadium full of Floridians have died. It's still a joke. He's the joke. The joke is unfortunately on Florida though, because they're experiencing so much COVID. He still has supporters, as you say. Like he still gets tons of donations. People don't seem to get it. I mean, one of the reasons I wanted to include this was I wanted to add a little bit of good news that while he unfortunately is still very successful, they still like him. And he's still trying to misinform them, and he's trying to get them to be open to getting infected when he's probably vaccinated himself. The good news is that if you look at the last week or so of vaccination rates at the state level, a number of different states, including Florida, Texas, Missouri, some of the hardest hit states, have been doing more vaccinations per day. It's not as high as the peak, but they have been starting to go up. So it's not enough, and it's too late, unfortunately, for a lot of the people who will eventually get sick and die. But the fact that we're talking about the Delta variant, the fact that we're talking about the need to be vaccinated is working objectively. If you look at the data, more people are getting vaccinated. So that is certainly good. But his grift is just gonna keep on going on. And I don't know, maybe he'll end up in jail for the other things that he's done, but it is disappointing to see him making a joke out of something that is still killing people. Yeah. Anyway, and can I say one other thing? He talks about like thinking for yourself. Here's the thing, maybe this is inconvenient. Nobody is thinking for themselves in this. And you know why you shouldn't think for yourself? Because nobody, me, Anna, nobody watching this makes vaccines or studies the virus. It's pretty rare. You're either listening to the scientists, the authorities, or you're listening to Tucker Carlson and Matt Gaetz. That's what you're doing. This is not a free thought thing. This isn't improv. This isn't like mushrooms fueled interpretive dance. Nobody's just like twist into their own rhythm. You're out there gathering data. Like the fact that they're trying to elevate this to some sort of like patriotic individualistic thing. No, you're literally clapping to what a congressman says to you. That is the opposite of thinking freely. So just putting that out there.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.